What there?
Yes, right on top of that one.
Andy and son Mikey are preparing to move from their home in Stevenage, but they don't know when or where they're going. Despite never missing a rent payment in 9 years, they're being evicted after the landlord raised the rent more than Andy can afford.
The rents just all of a sudden overnight just flew up. They just went ridiculous. I mean, some of the prices you might as well move back to London that they've got up here. They're just ridiculous. I moved here 9 years ago, like I said, because it was cheaper. I thought it would be better than London for the children. It's a nicer area. I don't feel that why should I have to get up now and have to move even further out and restart life again to try and find something cheaper because nobody wants to help. You get thrown out for doing nothing wrong.
Andy and Mikey are among millions of tenants struggling to pay the rent in a rising market. Rents in England have risen 5.1% in the last year, with increases as high as 20% in some areas. Section 21 orders, so-called no-fault evictions, where landlords don't have to give a reason, have soared to more than 6,000 every quarter. And more than half of landlords seeking to evict say it's because they want to sell or re-let their property.
Landlords are suffering a huge crisis of confidence, not just because of mortgage rates, but because of taxation, threats of energy change, threats of additional regulation, and the fact that actually, when you combine all of that with anti-landlord rhetoric, it's not looking too bad an option to put money in a building society saving account rather than go through the hassle of renting.
Renters are now the largest single group of home occupiers, a generational shift since the financial crisis that means there are now more tenants than mortgage holders. The squeeze on tenants is a symptom of Britain's wider housing crisis. A shortage of supply has made homes far less affordable. The average house is now 8 times the average salary. That's pushed even more people into private renting, driving demand and leaving them more vulnerable to increases in housing costs. Those costs can be pushed even higher if landlords pass interest rate rises on to tenants.
We know that renters tend to be lower income and tend to be younger, so tend to be more vulnerable to the cost of living crisis as well. And we also know that particularly kind of housing benefit and housing support for those lowest income renters has been frozen at 2019 levels. So there's some really, really significant pressures.
The government has promised rental reform, including a ban on no-fault evictions. Without it, even paying the rent doesn't guarantee your house will remain your home. Paul Kelso, Sky News.